Hi, I'm Pat Beaupre Becker, and I'm going to do an overview of the model. Now, I'd like to start with this idea of what can we control, because we cannot control many things. We cannot control other people, we cannot control the weather, we cannot control the president, we cannot control the news, right? But what we can control is our own thoughts, our own thinking, our behaviors, our actions. And so with that, we have this wonderful model. So the model, we use the acronym CTFAR. Okay, so what do those letters stand for? So the C stands for circumstances, basically the facts. And the facts are always neutral. So the facts could be, I have a job, I have a mother, I go to work every day. These could be facts, and these are always neutral. Now, the second thing is our thoughts. So the T line is our thoughts. And what is a thought? It's a sentence in our head. It could be, I love my job is very irritating, my job is stressful, right? All these are just sentences that we say in our head. And then the F line is feeling. So feeling is just a vibration in your body, right? Feeling and emotion, we use them interchangeably. So it could be I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm irritated, I'm frustrated, right? These are all feelings. Now, our actions are the things we do, or sometimes it's the things we don't do, or the way we react to things, right? Maybe we go to work, maybe we argue with someone, but every time we do something, that is an action. And the result, the R line, is actually the effect of our actions. So as a result of doing these actions, you have a particular situation. Let's say you were irritated at work and you have a fight with somebody. Well, the result is going to be maybe the job is not so great, or maybe you have strained relationships. Now, this is really cool to understand. And this is always the fascinating part, is that a circumstance is neutral, but it actually triggers our thoughts. And so it's really important to understand the difference between a circumstance and a thought. Quite often we think, oh, the job is just irritating. It's a very stressful job, and we think that's a fact, right? But that's just a thought that we have about the job. The circumstance is just that we have a job. So, we do have lots of conversations where we do quantify that our thoughts as a fact. And so that's really important to understand the difference between the circumstance and the thought. Now remember, the circumstance has to be proven in a court of law. Everyone has to agree with it in order to make it a fact. A chair is a chair. This paper is paper. Those are facts. What we think about them is a thought. So then we have feelings, right? And our feelings actually are caused by our thoughts. Because let's say we know we have a job, right? And then our thought about it is the job is very stressful. Well, that thought makes us feel stressed out, right? So it creates a feeling of anxiety in our bodies, right? But it's not because the job is stressful. Remember, the job is neutral, but it's the thought, this job is very stressful, is giving you the anxiety or the feeling resulting from the thought. And then the actions, right? So the actions actually really are the indicators of what we're thinking and feeling. So if we're stressed out, maybe we're overeating, or maybe we're over drinking, or maybe we're just not focused on what we can do. And that would be the actions. And you can see that because of that feeling, like if you're feeling anxious, you're going to act a certain way. And those actions are going to get you a result, right? So, and remember that the result is kind of the accumulation of all the actions that you take based on your feelings and your thoughts. So the other fascinating thing is that the result always proves the thought. And that's something that you can check back on. So when you have a thought and then you see the results, you can see that your brain is always looking for evidence, and the results seem to be evidence that what you're thinking is correct, which is very tricky. So using the model, now we use the model on every situation. If you're feeling any emotion, if you have a project, something that you want to do and you're just not doing it, you want to understand why you're getting the results, then you use the model. So these are the questions that you ask when it's time to create a model. So the first, in order to figure out what the C is, again, what are the facts? Like, what can be proven in a court of law? And again, that would be maybe I have a mother, I have a job, I weigh 165 pounds, right? Whatever those things, those are the facts. Now, the T line, we ask ourselves, what is our thought about that fact? So what are we thinking about that job? That job is so stressful, right? That could be our thought about the job. Or my mom is just so irritating, right? These are the thoughts that you could have. Or you could think that man is so handsome and I really feel good about him, right? I love that guy. That could be another thought about a person. And then that would actually give you a feeling, and you want to ask yourself, so when you're thinking this thought, how does it feel? When I'm thinking my job is stressful, how do I feel? When I'm thinking my mom is irritating me or she's so annoying, how does that feel, right? And that's what you fill out, that feeling, in the F line. And then in the A line, you think, well, when you feel that way, what is it you do? So when you are stressed, what is it that you actually do? Maybe you buffer with alcohol, maybe you overeat, maybe you exercise too much, right? Maybe you're just trying to avoid the feeling of that stress, and so you're taking actions, or maybe you're doing a positive action. That's another thing. You could take positive action from a positive feeling as well. So whatever it is that you do when you have that feeling goes in the A line. And then the result is, what are the results or the effects of all of the actions that you're taking, all right? So let's say my job is stressing me out, it's a stressful job, and your action is maybe to overeat or to overdrink, and then the results is that you continue to be stressed and the job continues to stress you out because you're not really taking any other action but ones that cause you to prove that your job is stressful, right? Of course you're drinking, your job is stressful. And so one thing that we do is we like to check the R line. So you want to ask yourself, is the R really proving your T? Because if the R proves your T, then you've got the model correctly, and it's in the way that it will support you. So let's do a model. I'm going to show you a model. So let's say the circumstances is that you're 62 years old and you weigh 165 pounds, okay? Those are the facts. They can be proven. Now, your thought might be, I'm too old to lose weight, okay? And that thought, when you think I'm too old to lose weight, you can even see it in my body. It's like it's such a downer, right? So that maybe I'll feel hopeless. And then when I feel hopeless, you know what I do? I actually tend to overeat. And then what happens is that I don't lose weight. And here we are. I am actually proving that I'm too old to lose weight. So remember, the result is always going to prove the thought. And so the facts are the facts, but the thoughts are the problem, okay? Or the thoughts are the solution. So what we want to do is the questions we ask. So we have our model, we've created our model. We want to ask ourselves, why are we choosing to think this thought, I'm too old to lose weight, right? Because it doesn't really help us. It makes us feel so bad. And then we ask, well, what is it that you want to feel? Well, maybe I want to feel excited or determined. Maybe in order to reach a goal, I have to be determined, right? And then you ask yourself, well, what can you think instead? So instead of thinking I'm too old to lose weight, you could think I'm just the right age to lose weight, right? Whatever it is that you find that you plug in, and then you use the model to help you to understand the cause and then to create intentionally another cause, another result in your life. So that's the model, and it's great to do thought downloads every day where you just write all of the things that are going on in your head, and then you circle the circumstances, right? You circle the facts of the matter, and then you can see what's left over is all of your thoughts. And then you ask yourself, how does that thought make me feel, right? And what do I do when I feel that way, and what's the result? So this is how we use the model to basically get whatever it is we want in life. So thank you so much.